All right, guys. Today I'm going to show you the easy way to do this, the easy way to graph. It's the other way wasn't really hard. It was just more time consuming. We had to plug in the numbers. We had to do all the arithmetic, right? Adding up numbers, subtracting, all that stuff. This way, when we solve it for y, remember when I was making such a big deal about solving it for y, this is why, because it's going to be a lot easier to graph. Our line's going to look something like this, 2x plus 6, right? This is the form we want. And it's called slope-intercept form for a reason. But let's start with doing what we were doing yesterday. We plug in 0, 1, and 2, right? Okay, so I got y equals 2 times 0 plus 6. Well, that's going to be 6, right? Because that's 0. Okay, plus 6 is 6. If I plug in 1, 2 times 1 is going to be 2, plus 6 is going to be 8. And if I plug in 2, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 6 is 10. So then we just go plot those points, right? Okay, so if I go over here, I'm going to go to 0, 6, will be about right there, 1, 8, and 2, 10, and there is my line. Beautiful. Now, that didn't take us very long. It didn't take me very long. I mean, it would take you a little bit longer to go through all that stuff. But I'm going to show you the easy way to do it now. All right. The first part of this is the intercept. And what they're talking about is the y-intercept. Okay. The y-intercept is where we cross the y-axis. This is the y-axis, correct? This line right here? Okay, well, where did we cross the y-axis? We crossed at 6. Oh, is there a 6 in my equation over here? That's my y-intercept right there. So every time I look at the equation written like this, I know where to start. I'm going to start at 6, just like we did over here. Okay, now where's the 2 come from? Well, that's our slope. All right, let's look at this. Do these go up by 2 every time? Yes, they do. And so look at this. If I went up 2 over 1, we make little stair steps over here, don't we? That would be our slope. Okay, and that's that number every time. Now, why is it over 1? Well, because we have to go to the right. So could I write it like this? And so like our slope is the rise over the run. And so we went up 2 over 1, didn't we? We went from 0, 6 to 1, 8. That's up 2 over 1, isn't it? And then we went to 2, 10, which is also up 2 over 1. Okay? And you got to remember rise over run. Always do the vertical part first. So this part is going to be my vertical part. If it was a negative, like a negative 2, then it would go down and over 1. But we always go to the right, unless we run out of room, and I'll show you that later. Always go right. Okay? That's a lot of stuff on there. So let's just go fresh slate here, and we'll start with a new equation. So let's say we got y equals negative 3x plus 7. Okay, just a minute ago, we said that this was the y-intercept, right? So I'm going to start at 7. Boom, right there is my first point. Now let's check it. If I plugged in 0, doesn't that give me 7? And isn't that the 0.07 right there? You bet it is. Okay, now we said that this guy was our slope. So that means we're going to go negative 3 over 1, which means to go down 3, because it's negative, over 1. So from this point right here, I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3 over 1, and 1, 2, 3 over 1. So I started again from this new point that I made, didn't I? And there is my line. Okay, now let's check this out. If I plug in 1, that's negative 3 plus 7, that's 4, isn't it? Is that the 0.14? I think it is. And if we plug in 2, that's negative 6 plus 7 is 1. And that, my friends, is the 0.21, isn't it? Okay, so we don't need to do this anymore. We can just read it right off of here. Okay, we can just go straight off of there, and everything's good. I just have to look at that. Okay, now I also told you that fractions were your friends, right? Well, isn't this a fraction? So when that number is something other than 1, our over part just changes. Okay, so let's look at another one here. Let's say I got 2/3 x minus 4. Okay, well, isn't this our y-intercept? You bet it is. So we're going to go to -4 right there. Oops, I want black. Okay, now, we said that this was our slope, right? And we said that slope was rise over run. So we're supposed to rise 2, up 2, and then we're going to go over 3. So let's see here. If I plug in, if I go up from here, this point here, I go up 2, 1, 2, over 3, it'd be right there, wouldn't it? And then I start over again from my new point. I don't go back to the original. I go back here. So, all right, so I got to go up 2 again. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 over. And there is my line. That's so much easier than trying to do this here. 0, let's see, my next number would be 3, my next number would be 6, right? You want to do that? Yicky poo. No, I don't want to do that either. This is so much slicker and so much easier to use. That fraction is our friend. Don't ever use a decimal there because it's a mess. Just make it a fraction and you just use the top number to go your up or down and your bottom number to go over. And always go which direction? Right. Notice I went to the right, didn't I? I went this way. I didn't go backwards. I went to the right. Always go right. Okay? That's why I want you to put your negative on the top. Look, next one. Too far. So here we go. Let's say I got y equals -3/4 x plus 8. Okay, well, my y-intercept is right there, right? So I'm going to start at 8. Now this time, my rise, come on, my rise over my run is -3/4. So since it's negative, I'm going to go down 3, and I'm going to go over 4. So maybe I should say right 4, but because we're always going to go right. Even if I go down, I still got to go to the right. Okay, so now from here, I'm going to go down 3. So 1, 2, 3, over 1, 2, 3, 4. And there it is. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we go. And that's our line. That's the easy way to graph. Okay? Now, if it's not in this form, what do? We put it in that form. Remember when I made you solve for y? That's why we're solving for y, because it's so much easier to graph like this. Okay, so we'll practice one of those real quick here. And then we'll review what to do when you have x or y by itself. So let's say I got 3x minus 4y equals 8. All right, my first step is to go minus 3x on both sides, right? And so this cancels. I got -4y here. And I write these separately, remember? And now I got to divide by -4. So that cancels. I got y. I got positive 3/4 x, don't I? Why is it positive? Because I have a negative divided by a negative. Okay, this is a -3 and a -4. It's going to be positive. But this guy is going to be negative, right? 8 divided by -4 is going to be -2. So again, this is our y-intercept, -2. So we're going to go right here. Dink. And then my rise is 3. And my run is 4. Always go to the right. So I'm going to rise 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I do it again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there is my line. It's beautiful. It's easy. We took a standard form line. This is called standard form. We solved it for y, which is slope-intercept form. And then we graphed it. And this is so easy to graph. It's so much nicer than making those XY charts all the time. Okay? Now I got one more review with you real quick. We talked about this yesterday. But if I just have a single variable, I just have to think about where is x equal to 6. Well, x is equal to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there. Now where else is it equal to 6? How about right here? How about right here? How about right here, right? It's always 6. The other way to think about it is to make your own little chart. You know, these are kind of different but x is always 6, so if I put in 0, 1, and 2, 6, 0 would be here, 6, 1 would be here, 6 and negative 2 would be here, right? Boom, 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 there's our line. And the y is the opposite. Let's say we had y equals negative 5. Okay, so where is y equal to negative 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. And then where else? Here and here and here. And it makes this horizontal line right there. And again, I can plug in whatever I want for x, but y is negative 5, isn't it? And I just plot those points. And there's my line, okay? So again, if you have some questions, give me an email. I'll try to help you. It's a short worksheet. Have at it, and let me know how you're doing. Good luck.